beautiful scenes in our background that will welcome some of the world's very best figure skaters. The city close to Tallinn in Estonia, just 400 kilometers from Stockholm in Sweden. The location for the very prestigious event that is about to take place. The Finlandia Trophy, an event which debuted in 1995, initially as part of the International Skating Union's Challenger Series, but now becoming an increasing fixture on the coveted ISU Grand Prix. There, the Helsinki Ice Hall opened in 1966. It's nearly 60 years old, but the venue looks incredible as we head inside to an arena with a capacity of over 8,000. Often this is the location for the HIFK Hockey, which is one of the top league Finnish ice hockey teams. But perhaps the audience now on screen, a little bit more reserved audiences, but certainly a number of fans that have come to the Helsinki Ice Hall excited to see what is about to unfold. And the excitement in this arena is palpable for so many reasons. The Finlandia Trophy 2025 is incredibly exciting because we will be able to see over the course of the next 2 days which of the skaters and which of the teams will qualify for the Grand Prix final, which takes place in 2 weeks' time in Nagoya, Japan, but also opportunity to see the skaters in the prime of their careers in this Olympic season. And practices yesterday proving that some of these athletes are coming into the very best form of their lives, but also confirmation that the pressure has never been greater. It is so exciting. I cannot wait to see how things unfold as we wish all of the athletes their best. There, confirmation of the starting order for the first of the 4 events. Today we open with the pairs short program. And in the past 6 weeks, we have now 4 teams securely through to the Grand Prix final in Nagoya, Japan. Salato Dedek and Deschamps, Conti and Machi from Italy, Miura and Kihara, and also Metalkina and Berolava have secured their spots at the final. And on screen now, the judges who will decide the fate of the teams here. There are 2 spots remaining. 6 skaters or 6 teams will head to Nagoya. And in this event, the Finlandia Trophy 2025, there are 3 teams vying really for those 2 spots, which makes it incredibly exciting. We assume that Minerva, Fabienne, Hase and Nikita Volodin will be guaranteed. They need only a gold or silver based on the success they have had earlier on in the season. But underneath just the discussion and the conversation about the Grand Prix final, for other athletes, this event is pivotal in potentially shaping their chances at becoming Olympians in Milano Cortina. There are skaters here who are so eager to achieve personal best scores and scores that can be used to make a statement to their governing bodies to choose them as the biggest event of all, the Olympic Games in Italy next February. And the Finnish Skating Federation really increasing the excitement in this venue as we see some scenes on the main screen of what has taken place already this season to get ready to be introduced to the skaters.
3, 2, 1. Helsinki, are you ready?
Kiinasta.
From China, Jiaxuan, Zhang, Yihang, Huang.
And so now, the first of the 8 pair teams competing, being introduced to the arena. Jiaxuan, Zhang, and Yihang, Huang.
Japanista.
From Japan, Yuna, Nagaoka, Sumitada, Moriguchi.
And then to Yuna Nagaoka and Sumitada Moriguchi from Japan.
Puolasta.
From Poland, Ioulia, Chtchetinina,
And then to the
Michal,
Polish
Wozniak.
champions, Ioulia, Chtchetinina and Michal, Wozniak.
Yhdysvalloista.
From United States of America, Alisa, Efimova, Misha, Mitrofanov.
And then to the final team in this opening group, Alisa, Efimova and Misha, Mitrofanov. And just confirmation that the starting order for the short program is dependent upon the world rankings that the skaters have. Those world ranking points accrued at various different events, and that's why the heavy favorites, Minerva, Fabienne, Hase and Nikita, Volodin, will be the final team competing in the short program. That said, that does not play into the judges' perception. They will be judging based on what they see at this Helsinki ice hall. And now the pair of skaters had their practice earlier today. As we look now to Jiaxuan, Zhang and Yihang, Huang.
18-vuotias. Hän
This, the
harrastaa lukemista.
youngest team in the event. Last year's Junior Grand Prix final champions. They took the gold in France last year, so they, at that event, had the opportunity to get a little sneak insight into what was happening with the world's senior teams competing alongside them in Grenoble, France last year. But the improvements that Zhang and Huang have made since then have been seismic. Subsequently, this season, they went on to win the Skates to Milano figure skating qualifier for the Olympics. They secured the spot for China at the Olympic Games next year. And now, another team who were at that very event, Yuna Nagaoka and Sumitada Moriguchi were third at the Skates to Milano figure skating qualifier in Beijing, a couple of places behind the Chinese team who will open this event. But unlike the Chinese team that we've seen on screen, Nagaoka and Moriguchi more likely to take the spot for the country. And they performed brilliantly at the NHK Trophy in their home Grand Prix in Osaka.
Sumitada is also a full-time athlete, and his hobby is eating delicious
Indeed,
food.
if they were to win this event, which is not expected, they could qualify for the final in Nagoya. As we see, Ioulia, Chtchetinina and Michaud Wozniak, the Polish champions. This, a team like others, juggling academics as well, with Ioulia having finished her bachelor's degree in bioengineering this past August. Studies complete now, allowing them to focus more on this, the Olympic season. And Michal, he too an academic as well. He has a master's degree in law. Obviously, very intelligent skaters in their Olympic season. So the Olympic discussion continues as we look on screen now at America's Alisa Efimova, who will be partnered with her husband, Misha Mitrofanov. Alisa and Misha, they are in the conversation to attain one of 2 Olympic spots for the United States of America.
This pair from the United States of America has some.
They are the first of 2 American teams competing here at Finlandia Trophy. In the next group, we'll see Ellie and Danny O'Shea. But the couple on screen are the reigning national champions. And they will be looking to move above the Japanese team. They were just 1 spot behind them at the NHK Trophy in Osaka. They're just working through the split twist lift, which for many will open their campaign. Earlier today, this group of 8 skaters had their official practice at 8 AM. Tomorrow, the pair's official practices in this main rink will start at 6:30 in the morning. Although, whilst that sounds arduous for the athletes, many of them will be mindful of the jet lag that is affecting them as they come to Europe to compete in this last stage of the Grand Prix. So many different variables to contend with for these skaters.
Skaters, there is 1 minute left.
As we see Zhang and Huang marking through the takeoff for their throw jump. One throw jump, one side-by-side jumping pass, and that likely to be 2 of the most pivotally weighted elements in the senior pair short program at this event in dictating the final result. As we see Yuna Nagaoka just working through combination of turns that'll be evident in her step sequence alongside partner Sumitada Moriguchi. Yuna Nagaoka skated for the first time at an outdoor rink near her home in Hokkaido. That an area in Japan which has produced many speed skaters, short track skaters, and hockey skaters, but Yuna, if she does go on to compete in Milan, will be the first from that area, from the figure skating, to compete at the Olympics. And the Hokkaido Figure Skating Association very proud of her and the efforts she and partner Sumitada are showcasing. So 3 teams clear the ice.
Hyvä yleisö, kilpailun aloittaa pari Kiinasta.
First to skate.
And so, opening the Finlandia Trophy 2025, the Chinese team, the youngest team in this event, Jiaxuan Zhang and Yihang Huang. And this their first full senior season. Zhang and Huang skate to Nemesis by Benjamin Clementine.
If I held my breath on you, I would have died 1,000 times. And if shooting was to show you how much I care, I'll probably be wearing dentures by now.
Opening with a split triple twist.
You would have died 1,000,000 times. And if shooting was to show me how much you care, you'd probably swallow your tongue by now.
Followed up by solid side-by-side triple toes.
Broken. Nemesis, our token. You turn around, march on to your new home. Oh. Wherever you're gone, darling, please don't you ever forget.
Holding on to the landing of the throw triple flip. Skaters just struggling to match up on the side-by-side spins.
March on. Can't say anything for you no more. Nemesis is in your case, darling. Next time, treat us the way you want to be treated. Otherwise, you get your passion. And life ain't a bitch. Nemesis is. Nemesis is. Nemesis is. Nemesis is. Doesn't
A fairly solid skate for the Chinese team, Jiaxuan Zhang and Yihang Huang from China to open the pairs short program at the Finlandia Trophy.
Yihang Huang.
A monstrously big opening split triple twist and success on the side-by-side triple toes. It deteriorated ever so slightly after that with the throw triple flip and the flying camel combo spin, which was a struggle. But this team, as I say, the youngest in the event, amassing as much experience and motivation on the Grand Prix this year. And they've been fortunate enough not just to work with their coaches Yang Ding and Jiaxuan Du, but also the likes of Olympic champion from 2018, Alyona Savchenko, who's choreographed this program. And really the team behind the Chinese skaters doing all they can to facilitate the education that will create them as front runners within likely the next Olympic cycle. So looking for different features, the split position, a clean catch with no touch at the top of the women's body on the man. And on this occasion they secure a level 3 as we see the Mohawk entry into their side-by-side triple toes. And that was excellent from that angle, good timing between the pair. So we see throw triple flip. And I'm not sure if actually the hands touched from Zhang, but you can see the loss of speed and flow, not optimal. And here, Jiaxuan did well just to salvage any camel spin rotation after the butterfly entry onto the flying camel spin. So we see some of the difficult entry into the back inside death spiral. And their choreographer, Alyona, said that she wanted something strong, but equally not something too complex and too hard for this team, pitching their development at this early stage in their senior career. But she professing magic in the future of this couple as Yang Ding and Benoit Richaud join them in the kiss and cry. So en route to their 4th place at the Cup of China, they had a 68.96 scoring short program, which is their ISU personal best in the short program. A little tightness on the throw triple flip, and the issue with their flying camel combo spin could be finding them somewhat adrift of that. And this team currently not with the same level of skating skill that we'll see from the other teams, but of course the youngest of all 8 as they await their scores.
Jiaxuan Zhang, Yihang Huang, lyhytöhjelmän pisteet yhteensä 60.
So this is 62.42 for Jiaxuan Zhang and Yihang Huang from China. They seem to accept that score based on what they delivered in their short program.
Seuraavana Japanista.
On the ice from Japan,
And now
Yuna, Nagaoka,
to the
Sumitada,
Japanese number 2s,
Moriguchi.
Yuna Nagaoka and Sumitada Moriguchi, a team that were quite brilliant at the NHK Trophy, achieving huge personal bests at that competition. And they're using the same short program that they used last season. The music Goodbye Yellow Brick Road for Nagaoka and Moriguchi. Great acceleration on the landing of the split triple twist. Just a hand down on the triple loop from Sumitada.
Oh, I finally decided my future lies beyond the yellow brick road.
Beautiful landing on the throat of Osako. Just amazing ice coverage through the Group 5 lift. Got so close in the combo spin. Well, it was turning out to be potentially a new personal best for Yuna, Nagaoka and Sumitada Moriguchi, but much like Zhang and Huang, who opened the event struggling with the combo spin. However, this team's progression is so impressive. And on this occasion, as we see the fans supporting them ringside, I'm really mindful of the increased confidence from Yuna Nagaoka, having seen them skate at the Olympic qualifier where they were vying to take another spot for Japan at the Olympic Games. Alongside the world champions Miura and Kihara, I saw the tension and the nerves, understandably. And now there appears to be more self-belief in the movement. And this team, I sense, now although they are likely to go on and become Olympians in February, could become the front runners in the next Olympic cycle, as their new coach, Dmitry Savin, greets them off the ice.
Beyond the yellow brick road.
Again, chance to look for the features. The drop in the arms from Sumitada. The acceleration away was amazing. Here, the side-by-side triple loops, a more difficult jumping pass than any other team. That carries 4.9 points at base value, which is what, 0.7 points higher than the jumping pass that most of the other teams will do. Look at the softness of landing and the confidence on the landing of that throw triple sako from Yuna. As we see the Group 5 takeoff, and a wonderful smile as we see the change of pose feature. And now the one-hand rotations. But this, the clanger in the program, as Yuna went to grab the blade for the difficult feature, she miscaught, and I don't think she's done enough to have a camel spin position sufficiently established, so really decimating the value of that element. An unfortunate end to what was an otherwise brilliant skate for Yuna and Sumitada.
The scores.
Yuna Nagaoka, Sumitada Moriguchi. Lyhytohjelman pisteet yhteensä
67.53
sijoitus tällä hetkellä
for Nagaoka and Moriguchi.
They have earned their short program 67.50.
And it looks like a fairly
which brings them currently
satisfied coaching staff as well as Dmitry Savin and the team take pictures.
Seuraava pari tulee Puolasta.
Next to skate From Poland.
And now
Ioulia,
to another
Chtchetinina,
team who are
Michal,
keeping
Wozniak.
last year's short program. Ioulia, Chtchetinina and Michal Wozniak, the Polish team, who've said that this program, they want to enjoy skating on Olympic ice as they perform to the track Moderation by Florence and the Machine.
Want me to love you in moderation? Do I look moderate to you? Sip it slowly and pay attention. I just have to see it through. You got me looking for validation. Passion's new. Want me to love you in moderation? Well, who'd you think you're talking to?
They managed the side-by-side triple toes, big distance between the team, which will affect the grade of execution, but cleanly done. A lengthy delay in preparation and a fall on the throw triple flip.
I never made it with moderation. No, I never understood. All the feeling was all or nothing, and I took everything I could. Can't hold it back, I can't take the tension. I'm trying to be good. Want me to love you with moderation? Well, don't you know I wish I could.
Just a little tight on the steps, missing some of the turns. A bold choreographic lift to close out the program for Ioulia, Chtchetinina and Michal Wozniak. What a way to take your bow at the end of your short program, and great to hear the Finnish audience really warming to Ioulia and Michal. I'm sure this Polish team wishes they could piece together some of the elements from their short program performance here with that from Skate Canada. They struggled with the side-by-side jumps in Canada, but managed the throw triple flip. It is the reverse of that on this occasion. But Ioulia had explained that they had a bumpy start to the season, but she said on her social media, that's what makes it all the more exciting when it works and everything comes together. And as she shrugs her shoulders towards Coach Nolan and Dimitri, you sense that they're edging ever closer to that dream skate. As we look back at the triple twist, that, like the other two teams before them, achieves level 3 of 4 here. Triple toes, and the jumping passes are delivered by both Ioulia and Michal. Just a different distance between them is a reduction for errors on the judges' score sheet. As we see the throw triple flip, And just off axis at the end, unable to stick the right back outside edge entry. And this, the back inside death spiral, the entry into that was brilliant. The split jump and hold. It's great as we see them achieve a level 2 on this element, and that largely dependent upon the number of rotations in that low position for both the man and woman. And here, part of the choreography by Mark Pillay and Paul Ball. As we see former senior men's competitor Nolan Seeger join them alongside Dimitri, who's a busy man at this event with multiple teams competing. Disappointing 56.55 for Ioulia and Michal.
They have earned the short program 56.55 total points.
As their coaching staff assess the likely reason behind that low score for the team. Components on the skating skills not as favourable on this occasion. As we look ahead now to the final team competing in this group, Alisa, Efimova and Misha Mitrofanov. They originally were going to skate to Riverdance for their short program, but just didn't vibe and connect with it. And the federation suggested a change. And now a more dramatic and intense piece for the American champions. Cloak and Dagger by Eternal Eclipse. Sense of effortlessness on the triple twist lift. The next element is crucial for this team. Side-by-side triple toe loops planned. Triples rotated, but mistakes for Alisa. But a luscious landing on the throw triple loop. Well, the best change combo spin of any that we've seen of these first four teams for sure for the American champions, Alisa Efimova and Misha Mitrofanov. And this more successful a skate than they had in Osaka, Japan at the NHK Trophy interestingly electing to do different jumping pass in their short program than they performed in Japan. Triple toe here, it was a triple salto that they used at the NHK Trophy, but that's where they had a fall. That's better for the team, although still not perfect. And I mentioned in warm-up that they wanting to be in contention for one of the 2 Olympic spots for American pairs, but not sure if Alisa's had citizenship approved yet, or whether indeed it will be enabled when it's necessary. They're a married couple. But Alisa connected to this nation very much so. Her mother is here as a coach to Finnish women's competitors in the women's event. As we look back at the performance, that great opening choreography by Rene Roca. As we see the clean catch and that stunning line from Alisa. Here are the triple toe loops. Just check to see if full rotation established. Doesn't have the most efficient air position. The step out will force that negative grade of execution. No such issue though, as she sticks that landing of the throw triple loop. And this difficult dismount of the group 5 lift, securing a comfortable level 4 and a big boost in the grade of execution. And whilst they wait to have confirmation as to whether or not Alisa would achieve US citizenship to potentially qualify for an Olympic berth, all they can control is the skating itself. And on this occasion, I think new season's best likely on the cards. They have 69.21 from NHK Trophy. Can they cross the 70-point marker? Yes, they can. And you can see what it means to Misha as they finally have a 70-point score program as they celebrate with coach Alexei Litov. What an accomplishment. Now, great to see the smiles on the faces of the American team. As we look ahead to the second group of skaters, there are the results thus far, with Efimova and Mitrofanov making a strong case to qualify for the last group in the free skate, but that very much now dependent upon the next 4 teams, as the Canadian silver medalists Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud take to the ice.
Italiasta.
From Italy, Rebecca Ghilardi, Filippo Ambrosini.
And then to Rebecca Ghilardi and partner Filippo Ambrosini.
Yhdysvalloista.
From United States of America, Ellie Danny O'Shea.
And then to the bronze medalists from Saskatoon at Skate Canada, Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea.
Saksasta.
From Germany, Minerva Fabienne Hase, Nikita Volodin.
And now to the reigning European champions and world silver medalists. They also at Saskatoon, disappointed to have had a silver medal at Skate Canada, hoping for triumph in Helsinki. Minerva Fabienne Hase, Nikita Volodin. So there, the confirmation of the start order, again based on the world rankings. And as we look ahead to this group of 8 skaters, the conversation for the Grand Prix final continues. That not necessarily the case for Leah Pereira and skater partner on screen, Trent Michaud. But they looking to try to move up onto the podium, having finished 4th at Skate Canada. They had a wonderful short program in Saskatoon at Skate Canada in front of the home crowd, and that now secured them an ISU personal best.
Leah's hobbies are arts, outdoor activities, listening to music and spending time with friends and family.
They exploring this season further continuation of collaborations with ice dancers, Madison Hubble and Adrian Diaz. ice dance coaches, the husband and wife team from the Ice Academy in Ontario. As we see another team who have worked with ice dancers, Jean-Luc Baker, the choreographer for the performance from the skaters on screen now, Rebecca Ghilardi and Filippo Ambrosini. And Rebecca and Filippo in the hunt too to become Olympians. They achieved the Olympic dream already, participating in Beijing. They were 14th there. But we hear so many of the skaters wanting to experience an Olympics outside of COVID. And what an experience it would be for Rebecca and Filippo to be Olympians in Italy in front of a home crowd. As we look to Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea, they in contention for the final if they were to win this event. Possibly a silver medal could secure them a spot as one of the 6 teams to qualify for the final, but then they would need a pretty big total score to secure that as they head into a tie-break situation. There we see triple salcho's looking good. They have had really challenging off-season with Danny dealing with lots of injuries that plagued him last season, but he pushed through the season and then had to deal with the repercussions of that in the off-season. As we look to the favourites, from Germany, Minerva, Fabienne Hase and Nikita Volodin. She's had the Olympic experience, but she's been quite vocal about how eager she is to have a very different experience. Minerva competed in Beijing at the 2022 Games with her former partner, who is here in Helsinki now as a coach, Nolan Seeger. But because of Nolan's COVID, they couldn't attend the opening ceremony. She had to watch that in the hotel. And Minerva had to take part in the official practices at the Games on occasion alone. Now she has met up with Nikita Volodin, and what a journey they have had over this Olympic cycle. So we see Leah Pereira just sizing up the feeling of the throw triple. And there, some firm grip applied to the hands of Trent Michaud in advance of what's to come in the elements for the pair teams. And you can see on the costume of the couple, the camera has now changed, but Ellie and Danny, costume inspired by the Japanese form of pottery, kintsugi. The broken pottery reinforced with gold or precious metals to make pottery more beautiful. And that one of the costumes created by the wonderful team Mathieu Caron in Montreal. And the concept behind that, a little akin to the challenges that that team have had in the off-season, making the most out of the challenges they faced. As we see the trademark entry for Rebecca and Filippo into their throw. So difficult and complex, but they look so comfortable with the knee slide entry.
Skaters, there is 1 minute left.
So as we head into the final 60 seconds of this warm-up, just interesting to assess the energy levels around the athletes. The whole venue just seems sizzling with an increased sense of excitement and pressure on the skaters. The Olympic discussion really does frame things with more intensity. And the skater on screen now, Minerva Fabienne Hase, one of those in the conversation, not just for Olympic medals, but potentially the Olympic title. And the pairs this season just seem so elevated. As I say, there are 4 teams already securely through to the final. And all 4 of those teams, Diana Stellato de Deck, Maxime Deschamps, Sara Conti, Nicolo Macchi, Miura and Kihara from Japan, and Metalkina and Berulava, the Georgians, all want to be on the podium. Minerva and Nikita too. We have depth, talent, and potential from so many teams all wanting to take a title in Milano Cortina. But right now, the focus is on the Grand Prix final and the Grand Prix here at Finlandia Trophy. Well, they were brilliant at Skates Canada. Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud already showcasing some interpretation. And this their short program, which they describe as a modern-day love story, a sense of push and pull between the team as they skate to the track Say You Love Me by Jessie Ware.
Say you love me to my face. I'm needing more than your embrace. 'Cause I don't wanna fall in love if you don't wanna try. But all that I've been thinking of is maybe that you might.
Excellent side-by-side triple toes and really good transitional musical content. Great phrasing for the throw triple loop. Oh, what a gorgeous program from Canada's Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud. Beautiful piece of music, Say You Love Me by Jessie Ware, and some of the nuances and the interpretation was captivating and in part quite understated. It was subtle, but just so beautifully pitched. Really excellent material from the skaters, the coaches, and the choreographers. I believe Madison Hubble and Adrian Diaz responsible for that. And now showcasing 2 for 2 in regards to clean skates on the Grand Prix in this short program for Leah and Trent. I think just an analysis there and an apology from Trent in regard to, I think, the combo spin. That was the weakest of the elements when they lost synchronicity vying for the 6 rotations in the camel. As we look back now. Ooh. The split triple twist. Here, back 3 Mohawk entry. Changing onto the back outside edge for the triple toes. Which are really superb, and then a back 3 exit. And interesting here, the choice of phrasing the throw triple loop done and a diminuendo in the music rather than a crashing crescendo, but that should really be represented in the judges' composition, in the construction of the program. And I think as the season progresses, it will continue to develop. For me, the step sequence, you could tell they disconnected a little bit in the steps when they're working through the combination of turns, trying to amass enough tech score for the level. But I think by the time of the last half of the season, this could be arguably one of the best programs.
Happy birthday, Bilbo, I miss you.
Well, happy birthday to Charlotte as they await their scores. And again, crossing over the 70-point marker, 78.13. They don't know what's happened before them, though, as they go 600ths of a point behind the Americans. As Alison and Nancy, their coaches, make sense of what happened. And now to Rebecca Ghilardi and Filippo Ambrosini, skating to Volare, a piece undoubtedly inspired by what is to come, hopefully for this team, if they are to compete this short program in front of a home crowd at the Olympic Games.
Penso che un sogno così non ritorni mai più. Mi dipingevo le mani e la faccia di blu. Poi d'improvviso venivo dal vento rapito.
Getting their least favorite element out of the way, double axels to start. Wonderful dismount from the lift. Just over-rotating the throw triple loose. Italy's Rebecca Ghilardi and Filippo Ambrosini. And this, a team so desperate to achieve a 70-point short program score internationally. That's something that they have done domestically, national competition, but constantly striving to try to achieve it. But it's harder for this team because they do not have the same base value of technical difficulty. Their double axel side-by-side jumping pass worth a point to point and a half less than the other teams, and so they really needed a picture-perfect clean skate, and unfortunately on this occasion, mistake on the throw triple lutz will pull them down further toward the 60-point marker. As Daniel Agiano and Rafaela Casaniga meet them at the side of the ice. And such a stark contrast to the Canadians we've just seen in terms of interpretation. They're exploiting their performance value. Good running edge for Rebecca. She has a less than optimal rotational position, but good running edge on the landing of the double axel. And here, just a level 2 though on the split triple twist, as opposed to the level 3 that they were hoping for at least. And this, the throw triple lutz, you can see nice back outside edge on takeoff, great rotational position in the throw, but just landing on a right back inside edge, body a little over rotated. So we see combination of turns. That's one of the features within the step sequence: bracket, back counter into a rocker turn. And the technical panel analyzing whether or not that's sufficiently clean. They've got a level 3 on their step sequence. So one of the features not cleanly established and given, as we see a wonderful smile on the face of Rebecca.
The scores.
Rebecca Ghilardi, Filippo Ambrosini.
And so it's a 62.49 for Rebecca and Filippo. And as this competition shows, very close scores between a couple of teams. They 0.07 of a point above Zhang and Huang, as they look to see further feedback.
On the ice, from United States of America, Ellie.
And now to the bronze medalists from Skate Canada, Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea. And they skating to Hallelujah by K.D. Lang. Really quality transitional content to open the program.
Heard there was a secret chord David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major left, the
Good triple salcos. Just a step out of the throw triple loop.
Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love is how to shoot somebody who outdrew ya. It's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not someone who sings a light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Wondrous dismount. America's Ellie and Danny O'Shea complete their short program. The couple that were 7th at the World Championships, who ended last season so well, but underlying that result last season were so many injuries. And indeed, Danny broke his foot right before Worlds. Although they didn't know it at the time, he wanted to push through and help Team USA get Olympic spots. But the consequence of that was several surgeries and 3 months off the ice. And how well they have done on the Grand Prix this season already, knowing what challenges they've had. And as I say, the challenges they're embracing it even down to the concept of the programs that they've got. The gold detailing represents the cracks in stone, and the idea that the imperfections make them stronger and beautifully unique, as their coach and choreographer of this program, Drew Meekins, finds them ringside. I was really conscious of the depth of edge and some of the transitions as we look back at the opening element, split triple twist. Love the connection between the team and the landing, as we see what is so often an issue for many teams, the side-by-side jumps. But as we saw in warm-up, lovely side-by-side triple salchos. Here, however, Ellie stepping out of the throw triple loop, and that forces the negative grade of execution in that element. There, the effortlessness within the lift. Just, I'm sure, shouting out to all the other teams that they train with at Colorado Springs. So they too go over 70 points, 70.24, and this competition is ridiculously close now ahead of the free skate. The proximity of scores between those top 3 teams, fractional. What an event this is going to be. So we've seen a real battle of being prepared for the free skate to come from 3 teams already, but this team on screen now do not want to be considered in competition with anybody else here. Minerva, Fabienne, Hase, and Nikita, Volodin want to be in a completely different league this season. Minerva has long since wanted to perform to tango theme since she was a child. So choreographers Mark Pillay and Paul Ball agreed. And having had music rights issues in previous years, they have created their own piece with Maxime Rodriguez. The track, Al Abrazo. Clean triple salchos. And an easy looking throw triple loop. Minerva, Fabienne Hase, and Nikita Volodin from Germany complete their short program. And currently the technical panel just looking back at the fifth element, the death spiral. It went in the system with no value. Just assessing what can be given to the team. They're already, without that element, a higher score than any of the other 7 competitors or 7 teams because of the quality of their components. But nothing assigned currently to that element, so you would expect that they've dropped almost 5 points. You can see the assessment on the faces of the team. What interpretation from Minerva. As I say, she's wanted to use this kind of theme since she was a young skater. Looking back now, the ease of these triple salchos and the glorious match. Impressive at the technique matchup that they have, having been together just through this Olympic cycle. There, the triple loop. And here, now they actually fell on, it was a back outside death spiral. I thought they had a fall on. You could just see, yeah, losing his pivot position, and so therefore no established low position. And thus, that's 5 points just with that. And that would be ordinarily one of the easiest elements for Minerva and Nikita. Just losing the tension between them. And as I say, in practice, they both fell on death spiral. So for whatever reason, that element has been causing them all sorts of issues in Helsinki.
This course.
So Minerva accepts 70.40, given the loss of one of the 7 elements completely. But that, I wonder if that is now one of the closest scoring Grand Prix events we have seen between the top 4 teams. It is just remarkable to see that less than a third of a point separates the teams. My goodness, that truly testament to the excitement of the pairs field this season.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes
0.27, 27 hundredths of a point from Hase and Volodin, the likely favourites to take the title, and Pereira, Michaud. Wow. That just remarkable, and thus almost a completely level playing field as we head toward the free skate for the pair teams, which will take place tomorrow. Well, it's not a huge surprise, the result. Perhaps the scores, though, however, are the shock. As we see a look back at the top 3 teams after this first event. Alisa, Efimova, and Misha, Mitrofanov. They, like all the teams, little mistakes being made. But the top contenders after this first portion of the competition find themselves there based on the fundamental quality that they have. Their default setting of quality facilitates their contention for medals. As we look back at Ellie and Danny O'Shea, and their campaign to make the final is looking still pretty strong, as we see they're more successful back inside death spiral. Than the leaders, Minerva, Fabienne Hase, and Nikita Volodin. Some of the highlights, what we would expect from this team, who have showcased such technical prowess over the past couple of seasons. The throw, the side-by-side, no issue. But today, a mistake on a death spiral keeps them close to the others. So that concludes the first event at the Finlandia Trophy. I'm Mark and Richie. Thank you for joining us, and make sure you stay tuned to see the continued coverage as we look ahead to the single skaters coming up shortly.